everybody, Richard again here from Electric Classic Cars, and on this week's episode we have an update for you on the VW Syncro. Let's get into it. Now on the previous episode on this camper, click here above if you want to watch that, main difference is it used to be silver, so obviously we painted it green. I must admit I wasn't that enamoured by the colour when it first came out of the paint shop, but it's definitely grown on me. Comments below, what do you think? It's a matte finish light green, and I think when I first saw it in the paint job it was all green, there was no black on it, and it just looked like the Scooby-Doo mystery van is probably the closest I could say to it. But the more black's gone on, the more I've liked it. So yeah, what do you guys reckon of the colour? I like it now. And the biggest change, apart from the paint, is the fact that this vehicle is now finished. We're about to transition now into road testing, but we're going to leave that to another episode. In this episode, I'm just going to show you what we've done so far on it. And we'll start with the interior. It's all back together now, and it's very camper-esque. We've got the rock and roll bed here, which I'll get out in a minute and show you. The full kitchenette cabinet thing is all back together, so we've got an electric fridge there, we've got our sink in there with its electric pump and tap, induction hobs because we've got rid of the gas hobs, so this is purely electric now and running off the 400 volt DC battery pack. We've got storage space here, we've got domestic plugs up here, USB things, all sorts of bits and pieces, and it's all running off the main 400 volt battery pack. Now I quickly want to show you one of the most important features of any Volkswagen camper, and that is the beer bottle opener. Now, only joking, I'm talking about the rock and roll bed, and you're probably wondering, why is it called a rock and roll bed? Well, to get it out you have to kind of rock and roll it, as I will demonstrate right now. Stand down. One bed. So now I'm back here on the bed. I may as well show you we've got some more storage as well. So there's more storage behind here, and behind here we've got the world's smallest wardrobe. Ta-da! And then above me here is more storage. So it's a really practical 4x4 camper, this. I cannot wait to do some wild camping in it. I nearly forgot, we've got an upstairs in this electric off-road hotel on wheels too, so yep, another double bed up here too. It's time to talk about batteries, because we're not the classic camper channel here, we're the electric classic cars channel, and we've got to include some electric side of things. So let's start on the batteries. We have 100 kilowatt hours of battery pack in this, so we've got batteries in this box here, and you've got this service disconnect you can see in front there. Another battery pack underneath the rock and roll bed, and underneath the rear of the bed there's also some more batteries. So a good sized battery in here to give you a good sized range to have some off-road adventures. Now around at the back, this is the rear of the bed, and they have to raise this up to be able to get it to meet the rock and roll bed when it's all folded out. So this is always dead space underneath here in a camper, so we thought, dead space, electric, batteries, excellent. So we put some batteries in there. So there's a couple of batteries in there, and just here, another important thing for good adventures is rapid charging. So we've got CCS rapid charging in there, as well as 7 kilowatt AC as well. And just underneath that again, you'll see the motor. So we've got the motor attached to the original gearbox in this, so we can utilize that awesome 4x4 Syncro drivetrain. And that motor is a Zonic 120, which is 120 kilowatts, and I think it's around about 280 newton meters of torque, which is enough in a camper like this. I've come back inside now because I want to show you this innocent looking power management system panel here that you could see in most campers, let's say, but it's not stock, because we've ripped all the guts of it and rebuilt it using our own control systems, if you like. So inside here now, on the back of it, is the control system for the solar panels. It's up on the roof, for instance. It's also got the rocker switches that puts it into camper mode. So if I flick that switch now, that's now turning on the 400 volt DC to 240 volt AC converters that now can power things like these plugs. And if I switch that on now, that's going to turn on the water pump for the sink. And if I turn that on, that's now turned the hobs on. So, and it's also got some little fuses here for things like the fridge and lights, which we've got above us here, and auxiliary system. So, yep, that panel looks stock, but is completely custom inside, made by us. In the last episode we did of the Syncro, this area in particular was like a rat's nest of wiring, and now it's pretty much finished. And what we got in here? Well, we've got the 400 volt DC to 240 volt AC converter that's powering things like the fridge, the hobs and the sockets. We've got a load of relays and fuses for all sorts of things in the vehicle. We've got the VCU in here. We've got a 12 volt battery down there, a really small one. It's like a motorbike battery, because unlike regular petrol or diesel campers, which need big massive 12 volt leisure batteries, we don't need that. All we need that 12 volt battery to do is literally close the contactor and turn the vehicle on. All the powering of everything else is done off the big 400 volt battery. And over here is a BMS display, and in the same compartment underneath Tim's seat where he's sitting there now is another one of these, and also controllers for things like the air conditioning system. So there's a lot of electronics in this area, and the same underneath there, all done and tested now, and it's pretty much ready to run. Now I'm sitting in the driver's seat, and I should mention this is a really comfortable driver's seat as well, with armrests. It's a lap of luxury. But yeah, we've got the instrumentation is done, so we've got the battery state of charge there, motor temperature, 12 volt battery, and battery temperature gauges all up and running and working, and power steering system is working as well, because obviously we have to convert that to electric as well. We've got a desktop tidy system going on here. This actually came with the original vehicle, but we've just tidied up. It was a bit tired, and this I think is out of a Golf or something, but again, somebody's done that previously. But everything is kind of working and tested. Air conditioning system just needs to be gassed up as well. Obviously we've got to put the stereo in, and what I'm really looking forward to is testing these knobs right here, because this is related to the 4x4 system, and it's got things like diff locks and stuff. So next time hopefully you see this, we'll be on an adventure. So there we go. I'm interested to hear in your comments below what you think of our electric VW Syncro camper. And I tell you what, the next bit is our favourite, isn't it, Tim? What comes next?
Test drive.
Test drive. But this isn't going to be so much a road test. It's going to be more an off-road test, because I cannot wait to put it through its paces as an off-road camper, with its race suspension, its diff locks, and
Bottle opener.
This beer bottle opener, yes, thank you very much, Tim. But yeah, join us on the next episode, where we're going to have an off-road adventure in the VW Syncro.